We have a really good turnover rate. And then aside from that, hey, let's not walk in front of the fucking camera. Let's everybody use a big brain.
Michael Hernandez here of MLH Media, and we are here today at XFIT over here in Highland, California, with the man himself, the man behind Squirrel Muay Thai and it all, Cody Sessions. Man, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing great. Pleasure to have you guys. Thank you.
Hey, man, thank you for having me in the gym, man. You know, I had a couple-hour drive, you know, coming over here into the Los Angeles area, but always a great time when I get to spend it over here with all these beautiful gentlemen. And just, man, you guys always putting in work over here, man. Every single time I come in here, man, it's always a ton of people, always the windows all fogged up in here, man. You guys are always putting in work. What has it been like, man, to see the rise over here at XFIT? And because you guys been over here for a year or two, and I feel like the rise, man, it's just the athletes, the belts, you guys get to see them over here as soon as you walk in. It's pretty evident to see the work that's been put in here.
Yeah. So XFIT is home, but premeditated at XFIT, like, I brought all my guys here, you know what I mean? And then we've been building on top of that since I've been here. But when I came here, I didn't bring 0 people. You know what I mean? I came with champions after champion after champion, or contender after contender, and people that have stayed with me throughout the longevity of their whole amateur career. And then other people and other organizations that are professionals that have worked with me for different camps or for a majority of their professional career, so on and so forth. So we've just been getting constant work, and the team has been growing and growing and growing. And not everybody fits in here. You know what I mean? Not everybody is able to be held accountable and to work hard all the time, or maybe sometimes just the vibe isn't to fit, and it's perfectly fine. I've had to turn people down ever so often, but more often than not, we have a really good turnover rate. And then aside from that, hey, let's not walk in front of the fucking camera. Let's everybody use a big brain. With that being said, we weed out the weak here. So it's like if you're not meant to fit in, you're not meant to fit in. But if you do, give it some time and we'll change your life.
You have proven that, man. The guys that have stuck around here and they've done some pretty big things. I mean, let's just give a couple of examples of some guys that had really big years in the 2023 year. Jason Granado, Nathan Hawthorne. Let's go into that, man, because I feel like those are 2 of your guys that have definitely done a ton. Obviously, Nathan being in the MMA and in the Muay Thai scene, and then obviously over Jason Granado. I mean, he got a ton of action in. How is it to be behind? I mean, obviously they're men in their own right, but you're the man. You know, you're the man coaching them. Yeah.
I'm the man behind the scenes, but with that being said, I hold them accountable and I teach them what I know and give them the best guidance that I can. But at the end of the day, all I do is make suggestions, right? It's not my way or the highway. I'm not a fucking dictator, right? And with fighting, you can understand and you see there's time and place for everything. So just because I have a way or method to my madness, it doesn't always translate to somebody else's style or their capabilities, so on and so forth. So I just do the best that I can, but at the end of the day, it's these guys putting in the work. It's these guys putting in the hours. It's these guys obtaining wins in the cage or in the ring. That's not me, that's them.
Hey, man, and that's been proven and time in and time out. Let's talk a little bit, though, about that decision over there at Fighters Rep with the Nathan Hawthorne fight, man, because I feel like that was an absolutely insane decision. That had the Muay Thai world buzzing. Can you give us the discussion, what goes through a coach's mind through a decision like that? Because, I mean, those have got to be tough nights and tough discussions, right? Like,
it's the game we're in. People say, oh, you can't leave it to the judges. Well, that's not up to you, dude. It's only 50% in your control. Oh, you should have knocked him out. Well, that's only 50% of your control. The other 50% is the other dude trying not to get knocked out and trying to knock you out. So easier said than done. Big thing is, though, it's an amateur fight. So a lot of people see movement and they see winning. When you slow that fight down, and this didn't take anything away from, was it David? Is it David Marquez? Taking nothing away from him. He's a gangster in his own right, and he's a champion, and he earned that title. But watch his fight with Nathan, put it in slow motion, don't put any audio, zoom in, and watch punches land on gloves, watch counter shots land on David's jaw. And you can see from a professional aspect, right? Hit, not get hit. Use your movement, move intelligently, do less, right? Work smarter, not harder. And that's exactly what we did for that camp, and that's exactly what he employed in that fight. I was a little upset with him being so much on his back foot, but if you look at the fight, he was winning on his back foot. He was slipping and ripping, blocking with his guard and returning right down the center line, exactly what we went over. Perfectly fine. It was a good learning experience, and it made it that much harder for the next opponent, and that's exactly why Nathan got another belt in another sport.
Hey, man, he has definitely been killing it out here in 2023. Looking to do much of the same in 2024. Believe he's going to be over there on that epic fighting card in February, correct?
He might be. If not, he might be fighting for another belt in either Up Next or another high-level organization. Mind you, too, not only did he get another belt in another sport, it was at another weight. So he's fighting bigger and better opponents and looking better every single time he competes.
Nathan Hawthorne, definitely one of those guys you do not want to mess with over here coming out of the X-Fit team. But you coach Cody Sessions, man. You are definitely killing it over here. You had a 2023 year that was also very, very fun as well. Last time I seen you in this attire, you were out there choking out people over there at Royal Combat and looking to possibly do a little bit of the same over here at ADCC coming up, man. Did you want to give the fans a little bit more details?
Yeah, so I'll be doing ADCC here in a couple of weeks, and that's really just a test myself, right? I'm going to be jumping back into the MMA scene either later this year, if not next year, but I plan mid to late next year to hop back into MMA, and I'll be partnering up with my buddy Willis Nunes, who I've been grinding out on the mats day in and day out, and I've been helping him with the striking, he's been helping me with the grappling, and we're just feeding off each other. Two world-class guys in their own domains, in their own respective sports that are learning and feeding off of one another. Big thing is everybody knows me as a striker, but don't let me get these hands around you. You know what I mean? Like, if you're 125 pounds, 130, 135 pounds, like, and I grab you, you'll realize that I'm competent. I might not be the best in the world on the ground, but I'm not ignorant. I'm not oblivious to what I'm doing. I'm competent, and I'm pretty sound.
You are very, very fun to watch on the ground. That's somebody that's coming, obviously watching in experience, man. That was a very, very fun matchup for you at the main event over there at Royal Combat, and then you were able to earn that victory, I believe, through a rear naked choke in that fight, correct?
It was a teepee choke. I jumped into a flying triangle and then transitioned to a teepee choke.
You 10th Planet guys, man, always coming up with all these crazy chokes, all these crazy buggy, all this crazy madness, man. But when are we possibly, I know you were saying you're getting in some work with our guy Nunes, but are we going to see an MMA debut coming out? I know that he's also been working in that MMA sphere. Is there possibly a time trajectory that we can see out of both of you men?
Well, we're thinking roughly around August, probably for both me and Willis himself to make that transition into professional MMA.
Any organizations you guys looking for? I know Up Next Fighting hosting a lot of events over here at Commerce, but also A1 Combat's been hosting a lot of events in California. Anywhere in particular?
I'll be speaking to some management about that and seeing what routes are going to be best and most feasible and auspicious for what I'm looking to do, as well as for Willis, because I want to make sure that we're guiding each other in the right direction. And my thing is, look, dude, this is the fight game, and if you're fighting and you're doing MMA, the whole point is to take it as far as you can, right? So take smart fights. This whole fight anywhere, anybody, anytime, yes, that's a gangster mentality. But you can get a bad matchup, lose a split decision or whatnot, and fuck up your whole potential odds to making it big or prolong that for another 1, 2, 3 years. So my whole thing is to take smart fights that make sense and to test myself as needed, so that I can work my way up. And if I am doing MMA, the goal is either UFC, one championship, or something big. It's not to be decent on the regional circuit. I want to be a professional athlete in my domain to be the best in the fucking world.
I know you definitely got a lot of opportunities in your horizon. Obviously, a lot of things also on the Muay Thai circuit as well,
sir.
Correct?
Yes. I've been talking to a buddy of mine, Andy Scott, through Yacao, and hopefully looking to get on a big fight card either in like Asia, UK, maybe Florida, something big out here, and maybe fight like a high-level Thai with hundreds of fights, or a former world champion, multiple-time champion, or stadium champion. We're only in the talks right now, so fingers crossed that something big presents itself. But if not, there's always going to be fights, there's always going to be competitions, there's always going to be grappling bouts, and I'm always going to be keeping my guys ready and staying ready myself.
Hey, man, thank you always for all the hospitality. Thank you always for all the love, my man. It's always great getting to see such a friendly face. And thank you always, man, for always playing all these guys through the ringer, man. Getting a lot of athletes out of this Highland area and getting them to high levels, my man. So great job, my brother. Michael Hernandez here of MLH Media. And I'm going to be signing out over here at XFIT over here in Highland with the man behind all these great fighters over here. The man behind Squirrel Muay Thai. The man himself, Cody Sessions.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, brother. Great job.